Good morning from Jerusalem. Look how beautiful the walls are from the 6th century, 16th century, built by Suleiman the Magnificent. But you can see how the beautiful valley of city of David. But before that, I wanted to see here a church. According to Catholic, this is the house of the high priest Caiaphas at Mount Zion. And here it is, and look how amazing that place. According to what we believe, on top of the hill was the palace of the ladies, the women of King Solomon. Remember, they weren't Jewish women. He had 1,000 women. In that case, they had their own, in a way, palace. I don't know what we can do with 1,000 women, but all right, if that's King Solomon and it was allowed, then why not? You can see the walls. Behind the walls, you can see the part of the Jewish quarter of Jerusalem, and we are heading to Garden of Gethsemane. But it will take us half an hour. But on the way, you will see so many places. I'm dedicated that tour to everyone who are watching it, and especially to one person, Gabriel Hart, that asked me to bless his cross that I bought at Garden of Gethsemane, which I'm not sure that it's going to be open, but I will do my best. Then what you can see from here, Mount of Olives is right here. The white area is the Jewish cemetery. From, let's say, 3,800 years ago until now. At the city, you can see two places. One, a little bit, let me try to make it bigger. You can see the Dome of the Rock, which is a Muslim site now. That is, according to the Muslims, the place that Muhammad descended into heaven. But according to the Jews and the Christians, that was the house of God that was built by King Solomon later on, by King Herod. To the right of it, you can see the gray dome. It's Al-Aqsa Mosque. According to the Muslims, Muhammad reached Al-Aqsa Mosque, which is the far, far away mosque. And from there, he went to the foundation stone, which is now beneath the Dome of the Rock. And according to the Jews, is the first stone ever. And from there, he ascended into heaven to meet God himself. Those two places are part of the Temple Mount that King Herod built, and you will see part of the walls of it. You will see the western, should I? I'm not supposed to do that. Yeah, it's so hot now. But yes, I will enter to the western wall, but to a different kind of western wall, at least at the beginning, at the corner of the western wall and the southern wall. You will see the southern wall of it and the eastern wall of the Jewish temple that King Herod built to make that area bigger, because the site of the temple was a little bit, not a little bit, it was small. Then this is the dung gate, the garbage gate. Don't blame me for that name. Ooh. Renovation. Renovation. It's called the garbage gate because it's a lower gate and it was easier to take the garbage outside. And you can see a lot of Jews, mainly because it's close to the western wall. And by the way, you can see a bar mitzvah ceremony. It means that it's or Monday or Thursday. A bar mitzvah ceremony is when the child became a man by reading the Torah in front of their family, and they're very happy. So must be happy. They say Mazel Tov. As you can see, it's a very happy celebration. It's only 93 degrees Fahrenheit. It's quite hot, but I must say it's drier than Tel Aviv. But we came to see the corner of the southern wall and the western wall that King Herod built to create a big plaza for the Jewish temple. And here it is. I do have a beautiful video of the Davidson Museum. Enter to my video, my channel, subscribe to it, send it to your friends, and then look for it. Then you can see the western wall, and the western wall, the Wailing Wall, is right there. And the southern wall, you can see Al-Aqsa Mosque. And let's go back. Let's go out from the Dung Gate again. And we will continue to Garden of Gethsemane. No, it's not that at all. I'm not sweating. No, I'm not sweating. I will convince myself that it's good. It's wartime in Israel, and it's beautiful to see the soldiers here, but I want you to see another wall of soldiers who died in that war. Look at the faces and tell me if those are bad people. They are not. Look at those faces, they're children. And those faces. She was very mad at Omer, one of the guys, and we were like, oops, almost fell. It happened to me at least twice a day. But let's cross the road as quickly as I can. And I'm so sorry if I moved the camera fast, but I was running away from the bus. The wall that you see here is only from the 16th century, and you can see another group of soldiers. But let's talk a little bit about City of David. City of David is right there. This is the new excavation, the new digging excavations. We found so many things, and that's for a different kind of tour. City of David, King David built a city there. Because the only spring of Jerusalem is there, and believe me, trust me, it's quite hot here. I know that I promised to visit the Siloam Pool, and I will, but it will take time because it's hot. Although I'm not working to go out, in July and August, it's not easy. Let me cross it. This is part of the things that you can actually see at the City of David. This is the Siloam Pool, which I promised to visit. Pure to God certificate from first temple time. Excavation in process. If you want to excavate, you can. And look what we actually find here. Priestly blessing. This is the blessing from the Torah, from number 6, that we discover from the time of the first temple. Not here, but it actually shows us that that was a Jewish place. Then let's stop saying Palestine. You can actually say the Arab future Palestine, or you can say the Jewish Palestine. Palestine and Israel, it's the same thing. You can actually shout at me as much as you want, but Palestine was a punishment for the Jews. For the Jews who've been here by Hadrian, who changed the name of Israel into Palestine. Very easy. 2nd century. Let's see how many years it's before Muhammad. Only 400 years? Yes. See that? Orthodox girls here. I didn't know that they're Orthodox by their way of dressing, and no boys. But I'm here to show you part of the southern wall of the Jewish temple. You can see so many evidence from the past here. And again, watch my video and you will be able to understand it. Davidson Center. I mean, look for that. But I want you to see 3 main gates. But the palm trees are hiding it, and I'll try to show it to you from a better angle. Alright, let me see if you can see something from it. Yes, those are the 3, the main entrance from the time of King Herod. And if you are Christian, then you know that Jesus entered 3 times a year, like every Jew, to the temple. If you are a Jew, you know that every Jew was supposed to be here, praying 3 times a year, because that was God told the Jews to do. And let me show it to you from a different angle. I don't know if you can hear at the background. Yeah, now I can hear it for sure. The muezzin calls the Muslims to come and pray. What you can see here is buildings and a wall and a gate from the time of King Solomon. Whoa, King Solomon, 950 BC. A Jewish one, not a Muslim? I'm kidding. Of course it was a Jewish one. It's just strange for me that people trying to ignore it. They actually changed the name to Zionist. Well, Zionist, it's a new movement, but it's not the last movement. There are more movements for Jews, and it's not the first one, not the last one. There are many, many, many more before that. The Jewish community were here from the time of King David until now. Then you can see the part of the western wall. It's not on the southern wall. Part of it. And if we're talking about Jesus, before that, I know that someone complained that I'm moving the camera too fast. I will try. I'm trying not to. I'm accepting it. I know that I made a mistake. I will be happy if you will send me some messages and tell me what you like and what you didn't like. I'm adding politics into it because I'm living now in a horrible time. Someone was burned it down a few weeks ago. It's not a Jew. It wasn't a Jew. It wasn't Christian. But he tried to burn down 3,800 years old city of King David. This is city of David. Remember, it's green because there's only one. There's only one spring in Jerusalem. Unbelievable, isn't it? Herod brought water from aqueducts, but before that he couldn't. Let me try to show you some tombs from the time of King David. First temple time. All right, look for the cliff, and you can see on my finger, for example there, you can see some windows. Those are entrances to tombs. And this is another one, a small place with an entrance and flat roof. This is the Egyptian tomb. And the Kidron Valley that you see here meets Hell Valley, and from there all the way to the Dead Sea. The Kidron Valley divided us from the cemetery, although that was a Jewish cemetery as well. Well, if it was a Jewish cemetery, then what's happened to the tombs? Sadly, in 1948, the Jordanian occupied all city that was supposed to be owned by United Nations and they actually occupied future Muslim Palestine that was supposed to establish for the first time only at 1948. But they occupied it. It became to be part of the West Bank. Then they destroy most, or not most, a lot of the tombstones, and they use it to their own prophecy. Their own needs for roads, for houses. Sadly, this is reality. It's not good or bad. Everyone who occupied the city destroy part of it and build something new instead of it. Then take it just like that. That corner, and I hope that you can hear me because I love the Muslim, but I know that some of my friends cannot hear it, and I accept it as well. You can see here the corner of the southern wall and the eastern wall of the temple that King Herod built. The upper part is not from the time of King David, King Herod. The lower part it is. I think from here you will see the main entrance. Yes, you see the main entrance to the temple. That, if we're talking about Jesus, he was there. He entered to the temple like every Jew 3 times a year, because the only place to pray at his time was there. The corner, according to tradition and according to the Bible, was the place that the devil tried Jesus. He tried him in Jericho twice, and here he took him to here and said, jump. If you will jump, if you believe in God, he will catch you. And Jesus answered, I'm not trying God. At the presentation at the temple, Jesus was here for the first time at the Jewish temple. This is a Jewish tradition. And according to what we believe, the room that he stayed after or before, you remember it was only 40 days, was somewhere here as well. Now I'm doing something that I will hate myself for doing it, but I'm doing it. I'm walking through the Kidron Valley together with you, Gabriel, and on the way to the Garden of Gethsemane, which I hope that it's going to be open. It's supposed to be open, but there's always but here. It's wartime, and there are not a lot of tourists. Actually, there are almost no tourists, and in that case, they allowed themselves not to open it. Then let's pray that they will. Anyhow, I'm going to bless the cross for you right there. Then you can see the Jewish cemetery. I was there a few days ago, and I will be there in about, let's say, 4 days from now. Those 2 tours will dedicate it to the importance of Mount of Olives to the Jews. And I uploaded a video of the Zionist tombs here. And later on, I will upload another video about the importance of Mount of Olives for the Jews. But let me tell you that for the Jews, for the Christians, and for the Muslims, this is such an important place. According to what we believe, Jesus will enter to Jerusalem via Mount of Olives. Remember, he entered to Jerusalem as the Messiah at Palm Sunday, and that's where he stopped, looked at the city and wept, because he knew that that city will be destroyed. This is Dominus Flavit. He entered to the city through the Golden Gate. The Jews believe that when their Messiah will come, and I know that you're going to argue with me, but it's not Jesus, according to the Jews. He will enter, just like Jesus entered, through Mount of Olives. According to the Muslims, one day God himself, Allah, will build a bridge between Mount of Olives to Jerusalem, and all the good disciples will cross it safely. You can see here Zechariah tomb. which is a monolith tomb. They build it from up to down, just like Petra in Jordan, and Bet Hazir as well. It's another family, and I think it's one compound. You can see two more places. One that, please cross your fingers that it will be open, and this is Garden of Gethsemane. And above, it's the Russian Church of Mary Magdalene. Let me take a picture for my Facebook. A lot of you are kind of my friend in my Facebook, my professional one, but you're watching my comments and posts, but you're not really friends of mine. Then push the button and be part of my friend. It helps me because it actually tells me that people loves what I'm doing. It doesn't give me a penny, but it makes me happy to see that, oh, another two people join to it. And Betty Ann, we are talking almost every week, but it's so strange to know that you are not really my friend on Facebook. Such an amazing place, isn't it? Back to the sun. I love being a tour guide. I really love being a tour guide. It's unbelievable. Gabriel. The next tomb that you can see, which is right there, half monolith. The upper part was added, but the 2/3 of it was curved from up to down, just like Zachariah tomb. Then the next place is Absalom tomb, the son of King David. Now the tomb itself is only from the time of King Herod, 1st century AD. But maybe King Herod or someone else built a tomb, kind of a modern tomb, on top of Absalom. There was a time, until I think lately, that the fathers used to bring their children, Muslims, Christian and Jews, and they told their Jews, remember Absalom? He didn't like his father. He was so horrible. Then he even tried to, kill his father. Then what's happened here? Then they actually used to throw stones on top of it just to tell the children that will happen to you if you won't listen to me. I'm not going to do that because my daughter is such an amazing daughter. Then if you want to read a little bit about it, it's Absalom against Father David in Psalms 3, and that was the end of it. And that's why in the army you must cut your hair, because that's what happened to him just before he died. Look how beautiful it is. It's such an amazing place. I'm trying to move the camera as slow as I can. Thank you for that comment. From time to time I'm not paying attention for it. Gosh, it's hot. There's a Yozad, which is a memorial ceremony for one of the most important rabbis. Then you can see that they're building kind of a stage here because the Kohens, the priests, cannot walk on top of tomb area because it's not pure. סליחה אדוני, זה חפץ חיים למעלה יהיה? הקבר שמה. יש שם קבר שהולכים לעשות לו יוצא, כן. אורח חיים. אוקיי, המון המון תודה. מה זה? יום ראשון. אוקיי. Then it's אורח חיים, the light of life. Rabbi Shimon ben Attar, and it's on Sunday it's going to be full with thousands of people. I don't know if I can enter with a cross in. Then you know what? Let me just enter to there, but without the cross. Is it okay, Gabriel? All right, let me climb up. It's only 25 minutes. Garden of Gethsemane is there. But because I will never do that on Sunday, they're going to be here like, I don't know, only 1 million people here. And no one will let me take a video of it. I'm entering to his tomb. And I'm walking like a Kohen. I'm not. Above the tombs. Because the tomb area is not pure for the priests. There's so many important tombs here, but you can see the destruction of some of them. Oh wow, that was worth it. And you can see the Golden Gate. This is the place that, according to what we believe, Jesus will enter when he will come back again. The high priest used to go out with a scapegoat just before Yom Kippur, Day of Atonement. You can see that the tombstones, some of them were smashed into pieces. What we found in 1967, we brought back to the tombs because we do have a map of all the tombs here. Gosh, that was worth it. Gabriel Hart, you are in my heart now. That was worth it and so breezy. You can see the Kidron Valley. Just there, it's where they stoned St. Stephen. St. Paul was there, and Garden of Gethsemane, Mary Magdalene Church, Dominus Flavi. There's so many places here. No, it's not hot. He wrote one of the most important Jewish books, Chafetz Elohim, and for so many Jews he's such an important person. But look at the wall. You can see most of the eastern wall that King Herod built to create a plaza for the Jewish temple. City of David is there. We saw the tombs right there. Tombs from 3,800 years ago. Zechariah tomb. You can see the top of it, and you can see how they curved it. And yeah, let's go from here. They build it for one day only, and you can understand how important it is. Now, someone asked me about the stones on top of the tombs. I will talk about it on the tour on Thursday. Here you cannot see a lot of them, but there's a tradition to leave a stone on top of the tombstones. Can be for so many reasons. One of them is that we are adding another stone to the future Jewish temple. You can see a little bit of the Dome of the Rock. And when the Jews used to bury their dead, most of them were poor. They couldn't be buried like Jesus in their family tomb. Then they used to make a hole in the ground outside the city and bury their dead. To mark it, they used to put some stones on top of it. Then in that case, this is the real reason for it. Welcome to the main street, and the truck is blocking the road, and you can hear the people using the horn like it will help them. But look at that! This is such an important place. You can see a lot of things. The corner of the southern and the eastern temple. Golden Gate. Side of the Jewish temple. The Muslims actually knew that Jesus was supposed to come back again. Then they looked at him, for the Muslim, Jesus is a prophet. Then they built the Muslim temple next to the gate. They sealed the gate, and they were sure that Jesus won't be able to enter the city. But Jesus is God. When he will come, he will find a solution for that. So many politic things involved in that city. That's why I'm not from Jerusalem. I live in Tel Aviv. Look at the olive trees, and you can see the olive fruit on top of it. Let's talk a little bit about Garden of Gethsemane, and cross your fingers that it's open. But before that, let me take the cross of Gabriel Hart from my bag. Then here you are again, Gabriel Hart. You're with me now. According to the Bible, God will gather here all the enemies of Israel, the non-Jewish people, and he will judge them. From that moment, they will understand that the Jews are the children of God. That's why the Kidron Valley is called Josaphat Valley. Josaphat from the word to judge. The valley, to judge by God. More than that. Look how beautiful it is. Then in that matter, we are reaching Garden of Gethsemane. Even that word is actually Hebrew, Aramaic, Gethsemane, the place that you are pressing olive fruit into olive oil. Usually it's in the lower part of the place, because to climb up with all those olives, it's almost impossible. Then in that case, it was a very holy place, because we are using the olive for so many things. For example, when King Charles was crowned, they used the olive oil from here, from Garden of Gethsemane, from Mount of Olives. And the name Mount of Olives actually tells you that it used to be covered with olive trees. Today, there's only few olive trees here, and you're gonna see it. Now, Jesus was at the room of the Last Supper. My first video of today was there at the room of the Last Supper, Mount Zion. And he came to here around midnight. He knew that this is the end of his life. He knew that this is the last option to pray. And he asked 3 of the disciples, St. Peter, Andrew, and John, to pray with him. But they were so tired, and they didn't understand the idea that he will die today. Then they fell asleep. He prayed here 3 times, woke them 3 times, but they kept falling asleep until the Sanhedrin people, the Jews and Roman soldiers, it all depends on what gospel you are reading, came to capture Jesus, and he was and Judas came with them and kissed him, and by that they knew who is Jesus. Gabriel, it is open. Yes, yes, yes. It looks like we are going to be there. Look at the facade of that beautiful church. That church is only from 1924. It was built on top of a church from 12th century. And that church was built on top of 4th century church. Bertolucci is the genius who built that church next to the olive grove. An angel came to Jesus right there and said, "You are the first one and the last one, Alpha and Omega." By the way, you can see beautifully some more olive belongs to the Christians, Christian tombs, and the amazing Golden Gate. Another thing that you can see here is the Greek Orthodox Church of St. Stephen. That's where he was stoned, and St. Paul was there as well. And you can see the new foundation of the visiting house. That will be in the future the entrance to the Garden of Gethsemane. Now, it's not only the entrance of it. They found here so many things. Monasteries, ancient monasteries, and a lot of mikvahs. Mikveh is a Jewish ritual bath. And because that is a place to press olive fruit to olive oil, is secret, then they had to purify their body before they did it. Oh, I didn't take a picture of the facade, and I'm taking pictures of everything. By the way, if you will be my tourist, it will be difficult for me not to take pictures of you, because I like to click. I'm a clicker, and I'm usually taking a video, a part of the tour, at least one video. If you don't want it, it's okay. I won't do that, but I will cry all the way. No, I'm kidding. I won't do that. But I think it's the best memory of our tour. Now I'm guiding a big group. Let me show it to you. Oh, no one. No one. I'm going to cross the street. And let me let me hope that the church will be open, or at least the garden will be open, because I want Gabriel cross to touch the olive trees. I'm not sure that I will be able to do that here, but if not, I will do that in a different place. There's only one entrance, and let's enter there. מה שלומך? רגע.
יש לי כזה, למה את לא קנית בשבילי? יש לי.
מאיפה אני יודע שיש לך?
יש לי עוד קטן.
לא, אני רוצה כזה גדול. כמה?
לא, תראה מה יש.
רגע, חכה. Then, we will enter from here. Now, by the way, that road is two-way road. See the sign of Mount of Olives. Ooh, I can hear the car. Yeah, it's open. And the entrance to Garden of Gethsemane. From here you can actually walk all over to reach. Usually the entrance is from there. But because there are so many tourists, we can do whatever we want to. Then I will enter from here. See the most important olive trees. But I wanted to cross to touch one of the olive trees, and here I can. And let me even touch the ground for you. I know that you liked it. You asked me to do that. Oh, the smell is amazing. I love the smell of the olive wood tree, and the cross is made of it. Bougainvillea. Inside the church, my friend. It's a Catholic church. But everyone accept the idea that it actually happened there. It happened here. Wow, 42 minutes. Wow. Then let's enter to the church. If I will be alone, I will be able to talk, but it will be quiet. If I won't be alone, I won't talk, then let me explain you what we're going to see. You saw from the outside there are so many domes. Every dome tells us that one of the nations built it at 1924. Then this is All Nation Church, another name for that church. And at the floor you will see a part of the floor that was covered with a glass. This is a 4th century mosaic floor from the 4th century church, one of the oldest churches in the world. Another thing that I will show you is the bedrock, and if I'll be able to bless it there as well, I will do that. That's where he prayed, and Judas kiss. Then let me take my hat off. I'm the only one. Yes. Then let me show you the floor from the 4th century. This is it. Judas kiss. Before we will say goodbye, I want you to read something important that Gabriel actually wrote me. I think you're gonna love it as well if you are a believer, and I think most of you are believers. And let's look for it. He said, my personal prayer would state, you know what, let me do that in front of the olive trees, that some of them are more than 1,000 years old. You are my hope and my joy, my life and resurrection. May I adore you more and more for eternity without end. Amen. I accept it with love. I accept it with love. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Can you understand that we are the only one here? Let me show you two more trees. This is, you can see that this is kind of an ancient one. And that one was planted by the Pope Franciscus at 2014. Let me put the cross on the ground as well, but let me hold it. And another tree is from 1964, built by another Pope, São Paulo. And I really don't know, Gabriel, if you're Catholic or not. You didn't mention it, and it's better to mention it before. But that place is part of the bedrock that we just prayed next to him. That's where he was prayed, Jesus prayed, but it's outside the church, and this is mostly for non-Catholic. Then I blessed it here, I blessed it there. Guys, if you want to have your own cross, enter to the description the tax benefit or send me a message and I will send you the link. Look for buy me a coffee and I will do that for you. I will buy it for you. I will bless it for you in one of the places and I will send it to you. Now that was 50 minutes of quite a hot tour of one of the things. I think I love the tour. And thank you for being with me. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye bye.